Turn to page 19 in your student books. Understanding a word and being able to define it or explain it are two different things. Sometimes you can even use a word in a sentence but still not be able to put the definition in words. When this happens, it can help you to think out aspects of the word. You can put the word into a category and then think of attributes of the word. After you do this, it is much easier to come up with a sentence that can serve as the definition of the word. The category of a word is the broad group that it fits into. The attributes of a word are what sets it apart from other words within the category or what makes it unique or special. Attributes are size, shape, color, texture, and function. For instance, school can fit under the category of buildings. However, there are many other types of buildings out there. So, what makes a school different? A school is different from other buildings because it is where students go to learn. That is its function. So, the definition of school is a building where students go to learn. Let's look at the word mammal. If we have to put mammal into a broad category, what would it be? A mammal is an animal. What attributes make a mammal different from other animals? A mammal has fur, it's warm-blooded, it has live births instead of hatching eggs, it feeds its babies milk, and it breathes air. Knowing the category and attributes helps us determine the definition. A mammal is a warm-blooded animal that has fur, delivers live babies, feeds its babies milk, and breathes air. That is the definition of a mammal. Now you will work with your partner to complete the rest of page 19. Remember to provide the category, attributes, and the definition. Have you ever thought about what makes a proficient reader? Proficient readers review the text for text features such as headings and graphics. We already did that. They also reread text slowly and carefully to gain understanding. Proficient readers monitor their thinking while reading to be sure that each sentence and paragraph makes sense. They look for answers to big idea questions. In this unit, we are answering the questions, how are bats useful to humans? And how are humans impacting bats? Let's do what proficient readers do and reread Batty about bats. As we do, you are going to be marking the text. I am going to lead the marking today with the directions, but next time, one of you will be doing so. I'm also going to pass out highlighters, pens, crayons, markers, and colored pencils for you to complete this activity. Turn to pages 20 and 21 in your student books. We will review the text features of an informational text. Please use your highlighter or colored pencil or pen or marker and follow my instructions. Draw a rectangle around the title, Batty About Bats. Circle each heading as I read it aloud. Flying and feeding. Super sonar. Hanging out and helping. Bats in trouble. Now, highlight each bold vocabulary word as I read it aloud. Connects. Connects means joins together or unites. Say connects. Skin connects the arms, hands, and ankles of a bat. This connection of skin forms wings, allowing a bat to fly. Vision. Vision is the act of seeing or sight. Repeat after me. Vision. Bats have good vision. Bats' good vision isn't very helpful when they are hunting in the dark. Sonar. Sonar is a way to navigate and locate objects using sound. Say sonar. Submarines use sonar to navigate in the water. Bats use sonar to find their way above ground. Colonies. Colonies are groups of people or animals living together. Repeat after me. Colonies. More than 40 million bats live in the world's largest bat colony. The world's largest bat colony is in Austin, Texas. Danger. Danger is a condition in which something bad or harmful could happen. Repeat after me. Danger. Firefighters are often in danger, so they must be brave. Interfere. Interfere means to get in the way of. Disturb has almost the same meaning as interfere. Say interfere. Poor vision will interfere with reading. Please wear your glasses if they are prescribed. Ignorance. Ignorance means lack of knowledge. Say ignorance. Ignorance sometimes causes humans to do destructive things. Negligence. Negligence means lack of care or concern. Repeat after me. Negligence. People who leave their pet in a hot car may be guilty of negligence. Talk with a partner about any vocabulary word that is still confusing for you to read or understand. Share your ratings from day one. Were you honest about your word knowledge? Now is the time to do something about it. Verify that each of your preview markings matches. For example, do you have both a rectangle around the title? Do you both have a rectangle around the title? Batty about bats? It's time to reread the text the way proficient readers do. You will read the text Batty about bats one paragraph at a time. After each paragraph, you will monitor your understanding by circling the check marks or question marks. Please be sure to draw a question mark over any confusing words, phrases, or sentences. I will also provide specific instruction on how to mark the text that will help you with your comprehension and writing. With eyes on the text, read each section. Use your pencil eraser to follow along. Look up when you have finished reading each paragraph. Let's read the first paragraph, lines 1 through 3. Circle a check mark or question mark for this paragraph. Draw a question mark over words that confuse you. Go to line 1. What can bats do that other mammals cannot do? Highlight the answer. Go to line 3. Bats' wings have 2 jobs. Mark 2 ways that bats use their wings with a highlighter. Let's read the second paragraph. Remember to look up when you have finished reading. Circle the check mark or question mark for this paragraph. Draw a question mark over words that confuse you. Go to lines 6 and 7. A pest is an organism that damages crops or annoys others. What 2 pests do bats eat? Highlight the answers. Underline the details that support the idea that bats eat a lot. What is this section mainly about? Write your answer on the lines provided. Flying and feeding tells how bats use wings to fly and find food, like bugs, flowers, and fruit. Using the sentence you just completed, underline the name of the heading and circle the main verb or action word. Let's read super sonar. Remember to look up after you have finished reading. Circle the check mark or question mark for this paragraph. Remember to draw a question mark over words that confuse you. Go to lines 9 and 10. Highlight the evidence that bats are nocturnal. Go to lines 11 and 12. Highlight how bats see with sound. Circle a word in this paragraph that is the opposite of vision. Underline the 4 details that explain how bats use sound. What is this section mostly about? Finish the sentence that begins, Super Sonar explains blank. Now let's read Hanging Out and Helping. Remember to look up when you have finished reading. Circle the check mark or question mark for this paragraph. Draw a question mark over words that confuse you. Highlight when bats hang upside down. Underline where bats live. Circle the number of bats that live in a bat colony. Who bats help? Who do bats help? Draw a box around the answer. Number 2 ways that bats help farmers. What is this section mostly about? Finish the sentence below the section. Hint: where do they live? How do they help? Now let's read Bats in Trouble. Remember to look up when you have finished reading this section. Circle the check mark or question mark for this paragraph. Draw a question mark over words that confuse you. Find line 23. Circle a synonym for trouble. Highlight 2 details that explain how bats are in danger. Review lines 23 through 27. Find and number 2 ways that humans can help bats. What is this section mostly about? Fill in the blanks to answer the question. Humans put blank in danger. We destroy their blank and disturb their blank. Scientists are trying to help bats blank. Now I want you to compare your text markings with your partner. Correct any errors that you find. We will work on creating good sentences. There are 6 stages to creating masterpiece sentences. These stages will be the strategies we use when we need to write an outstanding sentence. We won't always use all 6 strategies and stages when we write sentences, but we will want to use some of the stages all of the time. I want you to look at the poster that I'm pointing to. Stage 1, which we call preparing the canvas, is a stage we should always use. This stage helps us remember that all sentences have a noun and a verb. Remember that a noun is a naming word. It usually answers the question who or what. The verb describes what someone or something is doing. It is an action. What question does a verb answer? That's right. What did the subject do? We will begin writing sentences with stage 1 only. Do you remember the picture of the baby? What was the baby doing? Baby was smiling. We could answer the question who or what with the baby. We could answer the question what did he do with smiled. So we have a simple but complete sentence. The baby smiled. Now I want you to turn to page 22. Let's look at that first picture. What did it? The cat. What did it do? It ate. So we can have a sentence that says, the cat ate. Now I want you to complete the activity for the remaining pictures and review the answers. Remember that a good sentence begins with these 2 critical parts, and determining these 2 critical parts is a key to unlocking the meaning of any sentence.